Now time for our month-long series on Today's Woman. All this week we're focusing on health issues, and this morning it's depression. An astonishing 1 out of every 7 American women will experience depression at one time or another. Dr. Susan Blumenthal is Deputy Assistant Secretary for Women's Health and Assistant Surgeon General as well. Dr. Blumenthal, nice to see you again.
Katie.
Why is it twice as many women suffer from depression than men? What is it about our makeup that makes us more prone to depression?
Well, we think that there are a number of biological, psychological, and social factors that contribute to the increased rate of depression in women. For one thing, depression runs in families. There's a higher incidence of depression in identical twins or in family members of people who suffer from depression. Additionally, issues about self-esteem can impact on depression, and women seem to be more sensitive to losses and rejection.
Boys and girls, I read, suffer from depression equally until the girls reach puberty, and then something happens to them biologically.
That's right. Similar rates among children, and then at puberty the rates begin to diverge, reaching a high level in young adulthood until about the age of 44. What happens in puberty? Well, a number of biological shifts, hormonal factors start to impact on rates of depression. Hormones interact with brain chemicals. There are certain social factors. For example, girls begin to be socialized differently. They begin to feel the impact of sex role stereotyping. Girls begin to be the victims of sexual and physical abuse, which is a very major risk factor for depression.
But in general, Susan, depression is caused by chemical or hormonal imbalances and external societal pressures?
We believe it's the combination. Sometimes depression can come out of the blue. Sometimes it's triggered by a loss. But what happens when a person gets depressed is that there is a biochemical change in major brain chemicals that vary impulses called serotonin and other neurotransmitters. Now, recent studies found that men make serotonin, they synthesize it twice as much as women, which may be an important clue to why women suffer from depression more than men.
And it's helping scientists in terms of the drugs that are being used.
Depression is on a spectrum, and we all will get blue in reaction to some loss or problem. But what these drugs should be used for is clinical depression, the symptoms that you just described. And there they can make a life-saving difference, because 15% of people with depression will end their lives by suicide. It's a very disabling illness. It's a real medical illness, just like heart disease or diabetes.
And finally, doctors are taking it seriously.
Taking it seriously. And remember, medication, also there are new short-term psychotherapies called cognitive behavioral therapy, interpersonal therapy, that can be just as effective as medication for mild to moderate depression. Often the combination is needed.
So the bottom line is you can get help, and you should get help.
Absolutely.
Susan
Yes, depression can be treated effectively.
Thanks so much, Susan.
You're welcome.